Okay, we are about to start reassembling the standard transmission for a 1941 Buick. And the first step, Don, will be what?
Okay, here's the input shaft, and here is the new input bearing. And originally there was a slinger here which was destroyed because of the other O-ring, the other snap ring breaking up. So I've made a replacement shim to take the place of that missing slinger. But since the bearing is sealed now, we don't have to worry about oil coming through. So that's pretty straightforward. And put the spacer on.
Oh, it's a slip fit. Okay.
Yeah, it's a slip fit. Sometimes they're cranky and don't like to do that. And in place of the ornery snap ring that it had originally, we have modern snap rings. And in order to fill the groove, it will take two. Can you see what's going on there? Oops. One down and one to go. I'm going to tap it down with...
It's interfering. Okay.
Is it not going down?
Your spacers is partially stuck in there also.
Okay.
So we need to shove it from that side. This side.
Yeah, I see here.
You got it.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so now we've got that done. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this snap ring off, which positions the bearing in the gear case. Okay.
Okay, and just so you know, this is a configuration change. Normally you only have one snap ring, if anybody's following along with this.
So we got to keep track of that. So we'll put that aside. So now we'll go on to the cluster gear. I'm going to drop that on here. Okay, you can stop now, Neil.
Okay, action.
Okay, for the cluster gear, we have, to set it up, we have a spacer that will position these needle bearings. There is a washer that goes here that keeps the needles away from the sleeve, another washer that caps them, and then a thrust washer that wears between the end of the gear and the case. And then the shaft will go in later in the assembly. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start by putting the sleeve in the shaft in the cluster, one of the spacers on each end, and then we will gob it full of grease.
Oops, we just dropped something.
Yeah,
Where'd it go? What was it?
it was one of those little tiny rings.
I think I see it.
Find it? Okay, we're
Explain what you're doing there.
putting grease in the bore here so that in installing the needles, they'll stay. What we'll do is we'll install a dummy shaft, and what this does is this takes the place of the real shaft, and it'll position needles and make it a little easier to assemble. And then as you install the real shaft in the gear case, it'll shove this one out and help in the assembly. So we'll put this guy in. Okay, and I'm going to turn it over to somebody else.
All right, action.
Okay, so we now have the needle bearings fully packed into the cluster bearing, or cluster shaft. We're now going to put the end piece on. Normally these have got a finish on them. not this case. Okay, so this is now
Yeah,
going to
it
be
wears
the
on both sides, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, okay. So that now
Is it gonna
pulls
stay?
Nope, I got to. Yes, it is. Okay. Now I'm going to bring the counter shaft back this way so I can now pack the other side. So I'm now going to bring this around.
Okay, cut.